Morning, guys. Let's talk about emotions. Big boys don't cry. Well, actually, big boys probably should cry. Because have you ever not felt better after crying? It's a release. It's a release of all that negativity, that pent-up frustration, that emotion. And it's actually really positive. So big boys should cry. So why am I talking about emotions? Well, it's actually because I've just watched a video about German Shepherds. Those of you who don't know, I've got two working line Sheps, Maddie and Dex, who are as soft as anything until they need to be the contrary. They can be absolutely ferocious. They will protect me and I will protect them. They love unconditionally. They are pure. We can learn a lot from dogs. We're obviously very guarded, very suspicious, and that's a really negative character trait. So yeah, it's kind of peculiar. Obviously, our higher state of consciousness has given us the ability to be more meticulous, considered. However, we do seem to focus on the negative rather than the positive. And I think that's obviously something that's integrally wrong with society. And that's not something that's lost. We can change that. But yeah, it needs work and it needs small steps to achieve a big goal. So, testosterone. We are men. We are manly. When you have low testosterone, it can obviously affect your mood. You can feel low. You can feel like you are a passenger in this world and not really experiencing the highs and lows. That's something called depersonalization. You can just not see any enjoyment in life, in things that you would normally find exciting, thrilling. That's called anhedonia. And you can have anxiety. You don't really separate depression and anxiety, quite frankly. They all result from obviously chemical imbalances, hormonal imbalances, as a result of potentially exogenous issues. I don't believe there's endogenous depression that has no cause. That's an absurd concept when you think about our DNA. It wants us to survive. It wants us to be positive. So why would there be an endogenous cause for your low mood that you cannot correct? It needs work. It needs perseverance. It needs dedication. You need to work on your mental health constantly. So I always have a chat with my guys, and we talk about the fact that we should respond appropriately to highs and we should respond appropriately to lows. When something bad happens, you should feel sad. It's quite normal. But what you shouldn't do is dwell and remain in that negative state. And I think low testosterone, unfortunately, makes you ruminate. It makes you stay in that dark place that you don't need to stay in. When something lovely happens, you should respond appropriately. You should be enthused. You should find joy from it. But I think the lesson really is, it doesn't matter if it's a low or a high, it's a learning point. I think that learning point is more valuable when you have a low, because it's a negative emotion that should spark something in your mind to make sure that doesn't happen again. And with low testosterone, you can't get your mindset straight. So unfortunately, guys with low testosterone, when something negative happens, it has negative health consequences. So the knock-on effect of obviously having a psychological problem causes worsening physical symptoms, such as obviously sleep deprivation, how you project yourself to the rest of the world. You know, it's if you look at issues as opportunities rather than threats, you know, challenges should be opportunities. And with low testosterone, unfortunately, you can only see the negative. So, an optimized testosterone protocol can potentially reverse that. Now, that's optimized. Now, unfortunately, we do have a propensity to aromatization, so that's conversion of testosterone to estrogen. Now, you can feel worse on testosterone replacement therapy from excess estrogen. So if you do have problems, well, why isn't TRT working? It's because you're not optimized. And also because you're probably not doing what you should be doing. And then that's looking at the fundamentals of health, lifestyle, nutrition and exercise. And as my mum says, be your own best friend. It's a very valuable lesson. You know, we do tend to get into that self-destructive idea, and it self-perpetuates itself, and it's something that we need to challenge, we need to change. You know, you need to move towards the light, not towards the darkness, but the light takes work. Darkness is quite easy. So excess estrogen, we know that can cause anxiety. I'm not making any jokes about PMT, but once you've got your testosterone to estrogen to DHT ratios all sorted out, you should feel as if you can take on the world. Obviously, that's a massive oversimplification, but you know, having healthy hormonal levels is integral to mental health as well as physical health. And that's one of the reasons why we launched the Healthy Body, Healthy Mind Choose TRT campaign. We have seen it in over 400 guys. The mental change can be minor, it can be quite dramatic. You know, we have guys who have said that they were close to suicide, which always wells me up a little bit. Which I think, and now they're optimized on testosterone replacement therapy, they are well. It has cured them, you know, but it's not as simple as obviously saying that, you know, just jump on testosterone and your mental health will improve. You have to have the right mindset, and hopefully having optimal androgen levels will help facilitate that process so that you can attack. You can address all those things that you need to address, and you can have the dedication, perseverance, etc., to take on those challenges. Respond to the highs appropriately. Respond to the lows appropriately. Not today. Not today. You will not beat me. So I think it's important to recognize that obviously emotions are multifactorial. But I think you need to give yourself the best chance to be that better person, and you know, extend that hand into the darkness to bring somebody into the light. So good hormonal health, guys. Look after yourselves. And for those of you who don't know, we will be supporting Medichecks at Body Power, and I will be presenting testosterone talks in the lab. So if you are around, come along. Otherwise, I'm sure it is going to be videoed, so we'll release it onto the YouTube channel. Have a lovely day, even though it's pissing down with rain. The power of the mind.